Are, are we off? We are off. Today is day 177 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at Code Wars yet again. We've got quite a ways to go here at Code Wars. What are we doing? Cadaing. We are cadaing because that's what you do here at Code Wars. So we are, and you know what? Another thing, I meant to mention it yesterday. I notice that it returns different results ordered in a different way depending on what items you sort by and how you implement them. So, like, look at this. If we do sort by and we do most completed, so it changes languages up here and all this other fun stuff. Total completed, descending. So that's great. And then if we tag on 7, it returns stuff. And now there's a 7 involved somewhere with all of that. And then there's fundamentals after that. If we were to do it in like reversed order, like fundamentals and then 7 and then most completed, I swear, no, maybe I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I don't know. I could have sworn yesterday because yesterday we did the jade encasing string. The day before that, so 2 days ago, we did something else. I think it was descending order is what we did. And then the day before that, we had come across jade encasing before, but we had very limited time to stream. So we streamed an 8 Caillou level thing. But anyways, so there was that first day we saw it, like 3 or 4 days ago. Then the following day, even though we didn't do it, we ended up doing descending order. And then, because it was sorted one way, and we do the same things every day, and then yesterday when we sorted it again, I think I clicked on level 7 first, and then fundamentals, and then most completed. And then the jade encasing showed up, and I thought that was weird. But somehow when I sorted it this way, again, we got the same results. But you can check the last couple streams. We do the same sorting, most completed, whatever the level is, and fundamentals, and we were getting different results. That's how we ended up completing descending order before jade encasing. But look at how it falls in the list. Are we looking? Are we looking? We're looking. Okay, so that's enough of a crazy person's rant for one day. We are going to be tackling, perfectly suited for us. You are, well, we'll contract it. You're a square. She's loading. She's loading. All right, you're a square. A square of squares. You like building blocks. You especially like building blocks that are squares, and what you like and what you even like more is to arrange them into a square of square building blocks. However, sometimes you can't arrange them into a square. Instead, you end up with an ordinary rectangle. Those blasted things, right? So what are we going to do about this? If you just had a way to know whether you're currently working in vain, wait, that's it. You just have to check if your number of building blocks is a perfect square. Task. Given an integral number, determine if it's a square number. Why is there a link here? What could they be linking to? Wikipedia. Square numbers. Well, in the meantime, in mathematics, a square number, you know what? That's what the colon is for. In mathematics, a square number, or perfect square, is an integer that is the square of an integer. In other words, it's the product of some integers within itself. In mathematics, a square or perfect square is an integer that is the square of an integer. Perfect square? Square number. Square number or perfect square. Okay. Gotcha. I don't know why I was confused. Again, we're starting after 11:30. Son of a bitch. Why can't we just start at 4 in the afternoon like a regular human? I don't know why we always do late night streams. I chalk it up to procrastination, mostly. But, anyways. The test will something. The test will always use some integral number. So don't worry about that dynamic typed languages. Don't worry about that dynamic typed languages. What now? What? Examples. False, false, true, true, and false. I think we're ready to go. I feel like we're just going to be squaring stuff. Wow, they've got a lot of test stuff in here. I get the feeling that this is not simply just squaring a number. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Did I miss something in the instructions? There's a whole lot going on down here in the test window. Let's look at what they've given us to start with. Variable is square, function n, return false. Fix me. Yeah, I don't know what is happening. I notice they've got a for loop down here. Doesn't exactly seem necessary. There's a lot going on. Why can't I just put in a number? We'll read through the instructions once more. I feel like I missed something from the instructions. I just want to square the damn thing. Maybe I should take a closer look at their test stuff. I'll take a closer look after I fire through the instructions once more. Marvin Joke. Hello. Good to see you back here again, Marvin. Good to have you. We are just kicking off the stream right now. Alright, so from the top, once more, you're a square of squares. You like building blocks, you especially like building blocks that are squares, and what you like even more is to arrange them into squares of square building blocks. However, sometimes you can't arrange them into a square. Instead, you end up with an ordinary rectangle, those blasted things. If you just had a way to know whether you're currently working in vain, wait, that's it. You just have to check if the number of building blocks is a perfect square. Task? Given an integral number, determine if it's a square number. In mathematics, a square number or perfect square is an integer that is the square of an integer. In other words, it's product of some integer within itself. The test always use some integral numbers, so don't worry about that in dynamic typed languages. The test will always use some integral numbers, so don't worry about that in dynamic typed languages. They're okay, so I don't need to worry about any obscure numbers. That's what they're saying. Good. Okay, so examples, exactly as they have. Is square negative whatever? False, right? Of course it is. Is 3 square? Absolutely not. Not in my universe. 4, true. Yes. 25, also true. 26, full of lies. No one wants to live in a universe where 26 is a square. What kind of universe would that be? An awful one. That's why. So, they've started us off with variable is square, function n. We're going to be doing something with n, probably just squaring it. I'm thinking an if-else statement, maybe a ternary statement. Get some question mark and some colon action going on. Yeah, right. That'd be interesting. Okay, sample tests. Now let's take a gander at said sample test. So describe is square function. Test it. Should work for some examples. Expect is not square. Negative numbers cannot be squared. Sure. Is not a square. 3 is a square. 4 is a square. 25 is not a square. 26. Test it. It should work for random square numbers. Function. Variable r and I. For I equals 0, I is less than 100, plus plus I. Interesting. They've got the plus plus before the I. I always have the I before the plus plus. I assume it doesn't change anything, but good to know. Haven't encountered that yet. So R equals math.random. Oh, you know what? They're just really, this sample test is just really thorough in explaining, I think, how they'll be testing the numbers. I know this is their example stuff that they were showing here. And I think this is the madness behind where and how they're pulling the numbers from. So that's good to know. Math.random times, 0xFF0? Hexadecimal? No. Because there's an X. Why the hell would there be an X in hexadecimal? What am I looking at? And a line with a 0. Test expect is square R times R. That would be a square number. Comma. R plus plus. R times R again is a square. I don't know what's happening here, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to square the crap out of this. So, yeah. We're going to get rid of the return. I feel like the return false should kind of be there. Mainly like an if-else statement. I don't think, see, they didn't say, all they want to do is find out if we're in vain, but they didn't really specify what they wanted me to do if it's wrong. Maybe they just wanted to say false, return false, if it's not a square, which I think is what's needed. So I'm going to say if n equals and was there, God, I haven't had to write a square anything in drop. What's that, little cat? No, you stay away from that stuff. You're gonna knock it over. I know you, little cat. You're curious and you touch things. Hey, people can see you. You're not invisible. Goddamn furry abomination, swear to God. Good thing she's cute, right? No. Should we do... Hey, will you stop right-clicking? You're the one highlighting stuff right now. Go find a spot. Oh, Marvin's typing things. Just check if math squared result 1 equals 0. You inspire me. Starting on this website for fun between project breaks. I shouldn't tell you the way I would do it before even starting. Not to worry. I equals 1. I equals 1. I plus plus equals arrow thing. J is 1. 1 equals 1. J equals plus plus. J is 2. There's a lot of J stuff going on. Holy hell, little cat. I looked down for 15 seconds to read chat and you're... What the hell did you type? All I saw was like 14 semicolons. God damn it. Well, I guess we're working with this now. Should we try and run it? Let's run it just for shits and giggles. I mean, she took the time to type it out, right? And we can't type because she's walking all over the keyboard. Do you need... I'm just gonna... Look, we're gonna assume the napping position. 1, 2, and... 3. Be appreciative. Gah. Okay, you're good. You're good. Just, no, and you're back on the floor. Oh my God, little cat. I can't even take a deep breath because of my allergies because of you. It's okay. It's okay. It's what is it? It's a Monday night. It's supposed to be sucky, right? Mondays blow. Let's double check. She shimmied the mic. I know she shimmied the mic. We all saw her covered in fur. We're going to try and get back to coding. Oh my god. I jumped into OBS so I could see her jump up. No, no, no. Hey. Oh my god, she just wants scratches. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to get back to coding. There, we're back in OBS. Can we reset this? Thank you. There we go. Happy thoughts. Instructions. We're good. Marvin, the last thing I wrote is the difference between... Oh, ha 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 ha. Thus the semicolon in the middle. I equals 1. So you have j equals I plus plus. J is 1 versus I equals 1 and then j plus plus I. J is 2. Huh. Interesting. So it does change. Good to know. Thank you, Marvin, for explaining that. What are we doing? We were going to be setting up, potentially, in my mind, a ternary statement, checking conditional it. If, parentheses, something about n being equal to... I feel like there's some... I know this is wrong. N times n. That's not right. This should be something else if blank something or other. Hear me out. I don't know if I need to create a new variable. I don't think I do, because this is checking the square itself. So if I was checking 25 here, it should be equivalent to something, whatever the square root is. And I feel like there's a cool little JavaScript thing, like a square something. Oh, you know what? Marvin hinted at it. The square root, the SQRT thing. Maybe that's what it is. So, but I don't remember the formatting of what needs to be done for that. So we are going to do JavaScript square root. Beautiful. D d d d boo do 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 d d d d d d d d d d. Lay da da dee dee do 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 ding 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 ding. MD aha. If the value of x is negative, math.square root returns none. Because square root is a static method of math, you always use math.square root rather than as a method of a math object you created. Math is not a constructor. Noted. So that's their pro tip. So I guess it's just its own thing like this. Copy. Pow. JavaScript. Manually calculate. That could be fun. We're still going to check. We're still going to check. So, remembering a number and square rooting. Math.square root x. We put in 9, it returns 3. That's handy. So if math.square root n death. If math.square root n, so what would I do conditionally for that? I guess it would be, that's powers. That's awesome. But not quite what we need. So it divides it by 3. As long as there's, I guess, nothing remaining. Yeah. Marvin, is there a particular reason you write in CODEWARS and then copy to Google? I don't know. Just kinda, it's there. I guess it's quicker to just type. A lot of the times, too, is I'm able to copy directly from here. A lot of the activities, especially, like, I didn't really have to type in the editor as much quite like this, quite as frequently as this in Code Academy. But when Code Academy would reference some things, they did have an instructional section on the left side, very similar to this, and I would end up taking, what's a good example? I don't know, like Code Academy, I'd end up taking a phrase if I needed to Google it and I just copy it from the instructions and then throw that into Google. So here, if there's anything, I don't know why, I'd end up piecing together things like so. Square. We'll do square number. It's just Scratchpad, just a crazy person. Piece it all together like so. That's a better example. And then taking all that and then throwing it in Google. But anyways, here at CODEWARS, I end up checking Google a lot more because they don't hold your hand anywhere near as much as they did at Code Academy, and Code Academy did do most days a fairly good job of explaining things in their instructions. Kind of. Take that with a grain of salt. There were quite a few courses that were rather enjoyable. So I didn't have to go Google a lot of stuff when I was doing Code Academy. So yeah, just kind of force a habit. I'm sure it'll change as I am doing other things. The one or two times that I've used Atom, because I installed Atom IO for my computer, I was just Googling things directly. So yeah, good times. Nothing too special about that. Anywho, what were we looking at? Squaring things. Math.square. So if math.nonsense, math.square root, do. Is that gonna work? If math.square root n modulo 2 equal signs or 3. Tough call. I'm going to go with 3 just to be on the safe side. If it does that curly stuff, else curliness, return false. Yeah. How you like that? Boom. Let's tab that in a bit, get rid of that space. I don't know if this is actually needed. Can we do return true? Yeah, return true. That's exactly what they want. Return true. Hot damn. Did we actually figure this out? I still have doubts. But let's... Wait a minute. Math dot square root. I don't need modulo? Hold on, what's happening here? My mind is struggling to piece that final bit together. Something's going on. If that were 9, if this was 9, this would be a 3. Copy. 1, 2, 3. Something about something nonsense. Yes. Good, good. Okay. Nonsense. So, I know it obviously won't be hard-coded, but in the meantime, let's also take this, copy. If 9, the square root of 9 would be 3. So 3 if I guess modulo. Would I do the square root again? Would I repeat it? I don't even know if I need that. Maybe 3. How would I gauge if it's true? If it can be squared, if it equals true? Return true? Maybe that'll work. Because they were saying it would only run if it didn't hate it. If not non. No. See this, it would end up giving that. We don't want that. We can do if not non. See, I know we can set it up. Doesn't equal. Oh god, Z. Not equal to non. Right, right. That guy. That could be a thing. That could work up here. But that only covers the non stuff. Only read if... Wait. Only read if you're finished. Ah, okay. I'm looking up. That is a very interesting comment to make if I'm not done. Only read if I'm finished. We'll keep that on the books to look at later, I guess. D. I guess not equal to non. Return true. Let's give that a shot. D. Lie-da-die-die-dee-dee-dee. Yay! Okay, some success. So, should work for some examples. Is squared should work for some examples. Negative numbers cannot be square numbers. Value is not what was expected. Value is not what was expected. Should work for random square numbers. 100 of 100 assertions. Maybe what should I do from here? Let's space this back out just to get a little bit better view of all this. Well, else can really stay together. That's not too big of a deal. So we're bringing in n. We've got if math dot square root of n. So if that were 9, that'd be 3. How do I gauge if it just squared? If it can square, well, it can square anything, as we saw here. We're trying to avoid all the excess nonsense. Seeing their instructions, 3, that was a big false. 26, mega false. Maybe manually calculating. We never really checked this last page. So, function, something about squirt, n, and g. If not g, take initial guess at the square root. G equals n divided by 2. Variable dn divided by g. Divide our guess into the number. N and G, D and something. Okay, that's your regular day-to-day algebra, I guess. The new guess is the same as the old guess. Further guesses, returning G. No. Those slimy bastards trying to confuse us. Math dot square root 9. What do we need? You know what we need? We need a tissue of sorts, because our face is melting because of little kitty. This is just awful. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Leaky face. Allergy problems, right? Breathing's for winners, and right now we are losing, and losing hard. Okay. So what's going down? Only read if you're finished. You could just, we're gonna look at it because we're struggling. Long time. Only read if you're finished. You could just return your condition in your if statement. Really? I could just do math dot square root n, return math dot square root n. That's all I'd need. You could just return your condition if your if statement return n. If in your if statement return n is greater than 0 and math dot square root modulo 1 is equal to 0. Square root n percent 1 will never equal 0, even if square root n isn't 0. Some value percent 1 equals 0 determines if some value has no digits after the decimal point. True. Fascinating. So that the 0, the modulo, the percent 1, no, the modulo 1 equivalent to 0 will eliminate all of these. Anyone who has stragglers, excessive stowaways, too many fingers gets shunned from society, and they end up in the false bin. Gotcha. Okay, so all we want is a clean set of digits, phalanges, to be accepted and to be considered true by society. Okay, so we're gonna try that on for size. Also, Bear and Knox haven't slept yet. Yeah, that's us. That's right where we're at. It is midnight. We are excited to conquer this and go to sleep, because that's what you do at midnight on a Monday. Is stop doing things. So we're gonna do that. We are going to do that. Something about something. I'm going to be taking this math dot square root n percent modulo 1 equivalent to 0 return true. I'm still going to see if that works with return true, because I think that will actually cover everything. Ta-da! Beautiful. Let's clean that up a bit. So that's all we needed. And we had our modulo in there and the 0. We were missing the 1. That's what we were missing before. Okay, well, good times. Thank you for the tips and hints and guidance. We will submit this as our attempt. Boom. Look at that. Green across the board. Test results. Is square. Should work for some examples. 5 of 5 assertions. Should work for random square numbers. 100 of 100 assertions. Can we click this? Holy hell. You know what? I'd kind of think it would be cool if they showed us what numbers they tested. Just saying. Just, user preference. Should work for random numbers. Anything? All they show is the value. False. Not cool. Not cool. But, green smiley face. That is appreciated. Let's go ahead and submit this as our final. And see what all cool kids had to say for their answers. I'm sure they've got some clever one-line solution with all sorts of weird syntax. Actually, no, nothing too crazy. Wow, they just dropped that one line. Return math dot square root n %1 equals 0. That's all they did. Constant. I still have yet to really get a firm grasp of how to wield that tool. Is square equals n, arrowy bit, number dot is integer, math dot square n. Variable, return number is integer. Another clever way to deal with that. So number is integer. That helps eliminate all the decimal nonsense. Math dot square root. Variable is square. N equals math dot square root. Return squiggly squiggly. What is that? The tilde key equals n. All right. What's happening here? I did that Kata in C# yesterday. Very cool. Since then, had 2 level ups. Awesome. A number theorist. I'm not familiar with square root in JavaScript. Are there any floating point inaccuracies shenanigans to worry about? I'm not certain. I'm not the dude to ask, although it has been 177 days at Codecademy. I went through Codecademy for the first 159 days, and where the hell is Codecademy? And I kept hitting the reset button, basically, essentially, every, couple days, 4 days, 5 days, after a week. See, I decided to do all of Codecademy as, one giant course. Yeah, I did all of this nonsense. PHP and Angular and React and Python. So I did one right after another. So I got an intro and a taster, but it was basically like hitting the reset button. HTML, we'll say it took 2 days to get through their course, and then those 2, and then learning JavaScript, 4 days. SAS was 3 days, so I'd keep learning something new, and 159 days went by, still very noobish. It's only day 10 or so here at CODEWARS, so I'm not really the one to ask on expertise type questions, although I'm pretty sure that's just a generic one. But yeah, so good times. Hold that thought just a moment. All of a second. All right, crisis averted. Twitch stuff. Good times. Okay, so what are we looking at? We were going through the chat. Not familiar with square root in JavaScript. Are there any floating point inaccuracies, shenanigans to worry about? Midnight, how cute, 9 a.m. here. Ah, wow, yeah, 9 a.m. and you haven't slept yet. I would work on that. Not sure, I'm not doing JS. Also, can you make this function in one line? As we now have the answer yes. Variable is square function n return math dot square n percent, well, modulo 1 equals 0. Already told him, but I guess he prefers it that way. I actually didn't fully realize, Marvin, when you had mentioned that I can just return it below the function, that you were referencing I can do it in one line. I assumed that it could be done in one line. Most all of the activities I've done over the last couple days have been able to be solved in one line. But yeah, I thought, where'd it go? Not important. We know what line looked like. It was some yeah, very similar to this. I thought you meant I could take the condition and then put it in the return. Instead of true, I would just take this condition again, but that seemed overly redundant, and clearly I misinterpreted that, so good times. Also, already told him that. Guess he prefers it that way. Nowadays, everywhere are lambda expressions. I hate lambdas in most cases. That's pretty cool. In some cases, they're just smaller and make code more neat. In Code Academy, did they only cover JS ES5 or did they use ES6? I believe they're still, I want to say they're using ES5. They are doing a big, yes, they are still doing ES5. They are making a big push, though, this summer in the coming weeks to blog. I think it was the blog. To update stuff. They're going to be updating HTML to something or other. Here it is. Here it is. No. Important changes. Something about HTML5 and CSS3, and they're basically updating all their basic courses. So yeah, to whatever the current new standards are. The one thing that I was frustrated to see, I'm sure it's fine, but they're getting rid of their PHP course. And they had, what I thought was interesting was that PHP was within HTML, and they teach both HTML and CSS together, and then they immediately dive into learning JavaScript right there, and all of those work beautifully together. But the fact that PHP works directly inside HTML, I feel like they could have told us that on like the very first day, even almost before CSS. I know that's throwing in more to the mix. They probably wanted to simplify it, but the point is, I can't believe they're sunsetting something that's so basic and fits right in there. That's just my thoughts on it. Anywho, that's that. Let's go ahead and back out. Some cases, smaller code Academy, JS ES5, or did they use ES6? Barnox, smaller, yes, more neat, depends. I've seen people overusing lambdas, and the code was basically not readable anymore. Is the audio messing up for anyone else? Yeah, audio's hit and miss. My apologies. I'm not sure why. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I've only changed the things twice over 170 days, so that's that. Fortunately, the stream is coming to an end. We are literally backing out and closing things. Closing. One last comment. Of course, you have to know when to use it. When to use make profit. For example, in my WebSocket server on GitHub, I use some lambdas for event handlers. GitHub, Marvin Dude, WebSocket servers. Tons of fun. Cool. All right, well, thank you again to anyone and everyone who assisted with today's CADA, trying to survive yet another day of the year of streaming code. A big hat tip to Marvin Joke 1, also Barnox for stopping by, and a number theorist, and anyone else who may have accidentally stumbled in here to view the stream. Any and all views are greatly appreciated. Currently, we're now 39% of the way through level 7 here at Code Wars, and the adventure continues tomorrow with day 178 of the year of streaming. In the meantime, we are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it!